This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Super J-Cast. I'm Joel, joined by Damon McDonald. It is Thursday the 16th of December 2021. This is episode 189. Damon, hello.
Hello. I'm in a place called... hey. Your parents are there. Your parents are in the house. Is this the first time you're doing a podcast with your parents in the house?
That's right. I was just saying to you off the air, this is the first time I've seen them since I started this podcast. Last time I saw them was, I want to say, April 2018.
Wow. I wish I could say the same thing about my in-laws. I take that in a fucking heartbeat. You kidding me? Wow. It has to be, I don't know if it's strange, but like it has to be strange, right? I mean, your mom and dad are there.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal. I mean, obviously I talk to them a lot on WhatsApp video calls and stuff. So that in some way makes it feel like you have actually been seeing them regularly, but there's just so many false starts and with COVID and things getting cancelled and just little hurdles that have been flying up. Part of me thought, you know what, even if the flights are booked, I won't get excited until they're physically here.
Right.
And I got a text message in the middle of the night. They were flying over from London to Paris and then Paris to Bangkok. Got a text message in the night saying our aeroplane from the Paris to Bangkok flight has a fault and can't take off.
Oh my God.
When I saw that, I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake, this is not going to happen, is it? The gods are against us.
Yeah.
But finally, they made it. They're here now. The sleeping arrangements are all weird because now I'm sleeping on the floor in Esther's room. They're sleeping in our bed.
Oh.
And I'm recording this podcast on the dining table. So,
oh my God. Are they
echoey,
aware?
We'll manage.
Are they aware that you're waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning doing a podcast talking about Japanese pro wrestling?
Yeah, my dad is. My mum's not really aware of much, to be honest.
She doesn't even know what it is.
Okay, do you want a little story about my dear mother? So
yeah,
she was asking me while she was in London, can I get you anything for Christmas? Is there anything you want? I've got a Nespresso coffee machine. So I said, I hear in the UK they've got these like flavoured Nespresso pods, like a gingerbread spice flavoured Nespresso pod.
Sure.
So I sent her a picture to it, sent a link. I was like, if you could get these, that'd be awesome. So she turns up, she's like, okay, well, I couldn't get the Nespresso gingerbread pods, but I found Tassimo gingerbread pods, so I brought those instead. I don't have a Tassimo machine. Yeah, but they're gingerbread flavour.
What are you going to do, pour them in your mouth?
That's the way my mother's brain works. So.
She doesn't know. I mean, she's not going to know. You know what I mean? Like if I told Cheryl's mom to get me a fucking, I don't know, and what would like a hard drive, like an external hard drive, or a they just give me gift cards because they don't know what the fuck to get me. Yeah, give me a subscription to DraftKings, or I don't know, so, they'd be like, I don't know what the fuck. And here's the thing, I wouldn't want to put them through that. I was just like, just give me a fucking gift card. You don't have to give me anything, really. To be quite frank, you don't get 2 nickels to rub together. Don't get me anything. You know what you could do? Just stay out of my house. That's what you can.
Just leave me the fuck alone. That would be the best gift of all.
That would be so great. That would be not only me, but leave Cheryl alone. Because they're the type of people that would text. Like, people who just love to just text bad news. Like, they're the fucking Undertaker. Like, not Marcellus, but, it's just like, you don't hear anything positive. Nothing great. Hey, this happened. Congratulations. No. It's always, the neighbor's cat died. Oh, well, okay. Sorry. Tommy's got a ingrown toenail and has to go to the hospital. What? I don't care. I really find people annoying. I really have,
People are shit.
I have no patience for whatsoever. Hey, but I'm very happy that you finally get to see your parents, and your parents get to see the kids. It's fucking amazing. It's just amazing what we've gone through in this past, not we, all of us listening, all of our fine listeners, as well as us. It's amazing what we all have gone through. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Joel, and I've been wrong many times, but correct me if I'm wrong. We're at the end of our fucking ropes. We can do no more. We have been vaccinated, and we have been away from people, and we have been. It's starting back again, Joel. Is what I'm trying to tell you again. It's starting back again. You know, there's like guidance to say, let's not do. Don't if look, if you're not vaccinated, you're on your fucking own. But even if you're vaccinated, there is some scuttlebutt of, you probably shouldn't have Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever you celebrate. Just don't get that. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me at this point? Like, what are we going to do as a society at this point? Like, where are we? It's been 2 years. Over 2 years. Add to that, what's New Japan going to do? I had to tell somebody not to come over to the house the other day because they weren't vaccinated. I had to make that hard decision.
How did that go down? Are they like some kind of
pretty easy? I was like, "We ain't fucking coming over." I was like, "No, we're gonna play poker," and it was like a friend of a friend of a friend, so it's not a big deal. But I do some side work for the guy for their Google Ads account, and I was like, "All right, I'll see if he wants to play." And I just remember him being like a guy that was just like very iffy on the vaccines. And he was like, I was like, hey, just let you know, people that are coming over, they take care of their parents and they can't, everybody's all vaxxed. He's like, he gave me this fucking 2 paragraphs long about why he's not vaxxed. And I just put, okay, sorry you can't make it. Boop, send. Fucking idiot. Could have won $1 million. Not $1 million. Maybe $100. But he lost that opportunity. Why? Not vaccinated. All right. So there's where we are with that.
Should we apply similar restrictions to listening to this podcast?
Nah, I mean, listen. Here's the thing. I've gotten to the point where it's like, you're an adult. You're going to make a choice. But know that every choice that you make has consequences. Right? So, if you're not, then you're going to be restricted in what you can do, where you can go, what you can enjoy. Because I'm already fucking restricted, but you're going to be that way. And that's just is what it's going to be. Like, at this point, is anybody going to change anybody's mind? No. You either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. At this point, there is no, well, I'm still on the fence. Well, no, you're not. Come on, stop. You're just not going to do it. And again, that's your choice, and I don't agree with that choice, but you're an adult. You made a choice, but know that your choice has consequences. So, all right, man, I tell you what, past couple shows, I've been fucking miserable, haven't I? I listened back to the last show. I was like, God damn, whoever this guy is, he's a miserable fucking prick.
You were really grumpy.
I was,
and it's the most wonderful time of the year. Christmas is around the corner.
No.
We've got Wrestle Kingdom to look forward to, and I'm just guessing that this show that you watched yesterday, this World Tag League Best of the Super Juniors final, might not have been the medicine that we all hoped it would be to put you in a cheerful, festive.
You know how I am with the unvaccinated. This is exactly how I am with the fucking promotion at this point and the booking. I'm just like, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Why am I getting myself in a fucking tizzy over the you know what I mean? Like, why? They don't care, obviously. Why the fuck do I?
And the other Best of the Super Juniors finalist was, I don't know, let's say, Yo.
Were you? Let's being that people come to listen to pro wrestling talk. A lot of people don't, but most people do. Just general overview. Did your head explode at the absolute convoluted idea? They had so many paths to, and again, the people who won, whatever, we know. But they had so many paths to get there. Like, it just felt like you chose that. That's how I felt at the end. I was like, I feel like you intentionally went out of your way to do that for whatever reason. But they chose those people to expect me to be emotionally invested in. Joel, I laughed as if like, well, I don't. Why am I doing this? Like, it was that kind of laugh of what the fuck am I watching here? What is this promotion?
I said to you on WhatsApp, like this lineup with these top two. I mean, the whole card actually, but the top two: Yoshihashi Goto versus Eva Yujiro, and then Hiromu versus Yo. That's like the kind of lineup you'd see on a show, night 7 in Bipu, middle of the tour. You look at that and you think, I'll give that one a miss.
Right.
And that was the final.
Right.
That's what they picked.
Yeah.
They get to choose that.
Yeah.
And that's what they picked.
That's the thing. That's the crazy part about it. Again, for the logistics of the tournament, great. You're going to have matchups that aren't as sexy. That's what they went with. They put that on a piece of paper somewhere, Joel, and went, "Yep, let's go with it. That's money. Whoop, away we go." I couldn't believe it. Joel, this promotion is. I really think it's a giant rib at this point. Like it is just a giant fucking. Somebody's just joking with us at this point. I promise you, and listen, people already know, but at this point, I guarantee it. Like all right, Shibata, he announces he's going to return. Joel, his opponent's going to be like Doc Gallows. You know what I mean? Like, they are going to find
in a blindfold Iron Claws in the ladder match.
Right. It is going to be like the biggest wet fart of all time. And you're just going to be like, what are they doing? It's going to be like Shibata returning. We are going to announce his opponent. And it's like an envelope. Captain New Japan will be returning. Like that's what I expect at this point. And then
I'll tweet out like, that's rubbish. And then people go, Captain New Japan's good, actually. You haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have people be like, yeah, he's actually really good.
He works really hard.
Yeah. Come on. Oh, Lord. But that's where we are. Like, that's where I am with this. It's like, I am expecting not the worst. I'm expecting shenanigan levels of nonsense. Like, I'm not looking at disappointment. I'm looking at, you got to be fucking kidding me. That's my level of excitement for Wrestle Kingdom. I'm at the point where I'm at, you got to be fucking kidding me.
I don't suppose you're a Simpsons watcher.
Yeah, I've watched a few.
Okay, do you know the episode Itchin', Scratchy and Poochie? Where they introduced the new dog character, Poochie, to the Itchin', Scratchy sort of Tom and Jerry rip-off show?
No, but I probably have seen it, but go ahead. Go on for our listeners.
So they introduced this really annoying Poochie character, and then with their sort of creative are sitting around deciding, how they're going to do it. And then the one quote that sticks in my head is, all the characters should be talking about Poochie. Even if Poochie's not on screen, all the characters should be asking, where's Poochie? This is what has been transferred to New Japan with House of Torture. Yeah. Anytime, even when House of Torture are not on screen, all the other factions and wrestlers should be asking, where's House of Torture? Because it's just sort of is permeating the whole product right now. It was definitely at its muddy paw prints all over last night's show. Classic catchers, can we restart NXT Japan so Dick Togo can be the trainer and leave New Japan with his BS interference ideas? Steve O'Neill says, please do some Viagra partnerships because House of Torture might have permanently limped my NJPW boner. And Antonio says, happy for Hiromu Goto Yoshihashi, but sorry, I'm repeating this question all over. Why is Dick Togo still employed by New Japan?
Yeah.
Seriously, like, why they didn't fire the guy? He's an atrocious booker, aka Japanese Vince Russo. Like, seriously, the guy, he's literally killing the company. This is one message of 3.
Somebody calls him, he's literally killing someone.
My question is this: who had the idea to bring this guy to help the promotions creative, and why NJPW hasn't fired him yet, despite fans wanting him out, like with Portugal international team that we want our coach because of his bad tactics in coaching? That's message 2 of 3. Yet the Portuguese Federation doesn't want to sack him like NJPW so far with Dick Togo. Just why? What's the scoop there? That's my question. Please just answer it, for fuck's sake.
Antonio, please. He should have his own podcast.
This is a family-friendly show. Watch the language.
Really, please. It's potty mouth. Antonio should have his own fucking podcast. I think everyone is in agreement with that, right? Look,
okay, actually, I've changed my mind. Can I just press pause on the Dick Togo House of Torture thing? I did briefly because it'll get lost otherwise. Tokyo Sports Awards. Did you see the Tokyo Sports Awards?
No, I did not.
Well, obviously, we know they're heavily kayfabed and politicized. And
yes.
Too much you can read into them. Shingo won the best wrestler. Tag team was Dangerous Tekkers. The Technique Award was Great Okan. I think that was it for the New Japan Award. So, personally, I mean, it's not like you can say, well, this means they're the best tag team. This means this is the best technical wrestler. But I think it's nice for wrestlers like Shingo and Taichi and Okan to get some acknowledgement, a little feather in their cap for years. I think all 3 of them have had really good years.
Yeah, they have had a good year, and they've had years of good years. And look, I know people will complain, and again, the biggest stage might not be the best stage, but it's the biggest stage. And if you perform well on a big stage, you're going to get more eyeballs, and in awards like that, I'm sure it helps. I'm sure there's political strings being pulled and all that shit, but okay, very nice. I look. I don't know what the benefit is of the direction that they're going, and I'm sorry, I don't see one positive coming from it. And if Joel, if you can help me with that, I'm all ears. I just don't see what the upside is of the involvement. And again, everybody's pointing fingers at Dick Togo, right? And again, stuff gets leaked out and stuff gets chitter chatted to us and chitter chatted to other people, and that gets filtered down to us and vice versa. He is the common denominator in this, right? And all the chitter chatter. Like, they have to know, right? Like they have to realize what's happening here. Like the absolute erosion of the North American fan base. And again, they're not. And I will say this as well. Not only the North American fan base, but even the Japanese fan base. And here's why I say that. Small sample size. Very small sample size. But there are passionate New Japan fans that we are in contact with that live in Japan. I feel like they are so disconnected from this product right now that I don't even think I could have a normal conversation with them about the product because they're so disconnected from it. Like they have no idea because they've just fucking threw their hands in the air and they're like, I can't even watch this shit. Who is this for? Who? That's my question. Who is this for, Joel?
Dick Togo and his buddies, I think. That seems to be the answer. I mean, it's weird, isn't it? Because this show was so strange because you had it all laid out before the intermission, you had the big Shibata announcement, which of course we're going to talk about. And I think that brought back a lot of lapsed fans who thought,
Yeah.
well, Shibata's coming back. I might check out the rest of the show. And by the end of it, they're probably thinking, you know what, I'm good.
Yeah. Everybody, the thing that everyone was talking about was Shibata, right? And that's scary to me because you're talking about a guy who hasn't been in a New Japan ring in years, right? You're talking about a guy whose best match was his last match, but that was quite a while ago. And no one is talking about what is currently happening. Like every bit of excitement was a guy getting in the ring in a suit saying, I'm going to wrestle in January. That is
like everything else that's been teased or booked or hitting out for Wrestle Kingdom, just ice cold.
Yep.
Absolutely ice cold. No one gives a shit. This is the least excited I've been for Wrestle Kingdom ever.
Oh my God. I'm not waking up early for this. Are you waking up? No.
I've got the day off. I'm just going to still be on holiday. I'm not fucking watching it live.
No way am I watching this live.
Speed before I go to bed.
Are you fucking kidding me? No way am I waking up. 2 o'clock in the morning? No way.
We're going to get a lot of people watching it for Shibata's involvement. And if they don't put their best foot forward on the show, and if it's full of the bullshit that we saw yesterday, then people are just going to tune out again. And, you have certain expectations in New Japan. Of course, there's always been heel interference.
Sure.
It's always been there. But when it is so just it's permeated the entire card, like the top 2 matches, the 2 tournament finals had House of Torture interference. And I don't think it's an unreasonable expectation to think, okay, if you want to have your heel stuff now and then for the odd filler defense or, one match on a G1 card or, something in the middle of the card, but in your World Tag League final and the Best of the Super Juniors final, a tournament final that personally I think should be free of that kind of stuff, then you got to ask questions, don't you?
There's a time and a place for that kind of stuff. And we've always said it. It's not our favorite thing, but we can understand and appreciate the fact that there is a time and a place for that in any pro wrestling. I mean, unless you're fucking, Rings or, UWF and you're fucking Akira Maeda. Okay, great. But overall, there's a time and a place. That is not the time and the place. I hate to say it. And I know people be like, well, you don't like pro wrestling or that's pro wrestling. No, it's not. That doesn't have to be. Like, that's the beauty of pro wrestling. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be that. And I just think that what you do is you water down your important things so much by doing that so consistently that people just tune out. And that's what's happening. And I'm not saying this because I'm not getting what I want out of pro wrestling. I'm saying this because I'm passionate about this fucking product for more than half of my life. And it's a long life, in case anybody didn't know. And I just see it I see people just jumping off the fucking boat. And I'm trying to say, this is still a good boat. It's a good boat. And people are they got their life jackets on, swimming the shore, being like, toodaloo, Damon. Have fun on that fucking boat. I'm finding something else. And I'm like, all right.
And then there's the 2 of us sitting there at a table with our recording equipment. Hello, welcome to the Sinking Boat podcast.
I know. And yet you wake up at 5 o'clock in the motherfucking morning to do a show about that. And that's frustrating. Like, that's because it doesn't have to be this way. And it is this way. And I don't see why it's this way. Nobody can convince me that this is the best way to go. And you're right. I'm going into this Wrestle Kingdom like normally this would be. All right, look, again, travel restrictions, all that. But normally, I would be kind of gearing up to fucking go. And even if I could go, there would be no way I would spend money on this. If there was no way, if there was no COVID restrictions, you would be there, Joel, right? No fucking way.
No. I mean, the Shibata thing, kind of maybe, but then you watch the rest of the show and think, I'll just give it a miss.
Yeah. Look, I don't. I hate the fact that this is a completely negative podcast at this point. but it's not. It's a completely honest, because if you go into my fucking bar, there is a flag right on one side is the motherfucking Toronto Maple Leafs, who haven't done shit in forever. And on the other side is a flag of New Japan, who haven't done shit in forever. My bar should just be renamed, haven't done shit in forever. I want it to be good. I want people to be excited about it. And I don't feel an obligation for me or this show or you, Joel, to be that. We should be responding to what they do. I don't need to sit here and convince people that something is fucking garbage.
When we tried that, we had an open mind back last year after Dominion, when Evil did his heel turn, Bullet Club Evil, and they started doing this stuff.
Yeah, we tried.
We gave it a fair chance. We tried. We tried to look for the positives. We're like, okay, it's something fresh, it's something new. But 18 months later, we got to say, nah, it's not working. People don't like it.
People don't like it. That's the bottom line. And you can see that with ticket sales in the States, and it's just not working. It's just not working. And I'm still not 100% convinced, Joel, that we're going to have a full roster at Wrestle Kingdoms. Listen, let me put it this way. Just like you said that you were not convinced you were going to see your parents until they walked in the front fucking door or out of the airport gate, until I see Jay White in a fucking Tokyo Dome or Will Ospreay or whomever, I'll believe it when I see it. Until then, we don't know what the fuck's going to happen. We don't know. And here's the thing, too. They don't know. They really don't know. They don't know. I'm sure they have plan A, plan B, plan C. Okay. They don't know. What I do know is that it has gotten to the point where the influence, and again, however it is portioned out, if he has a lot of control and a lot of say, or some say, or he's got naked pictures of somebody's fucking wife, I don't know. But what I do know is that the end result, what is fed through the meat grinder and what is placed on the outside on a fucking hamburger bun, it is a patty of shit. That is what we are dining on. A patty of shit. That is what's coming out. They have to fix it. They have to fix it quickly. Because if they don't, if this Wrestle Kingdom is not a hard reset, Joel, they're in trouble. They are in deep fucking trouble. And remember I say, the biggest buzz is Shibata, right? That's what people are fucking like clinging on to. And the excitement of seeing him in the ring and the announcement, boom, him coming back on a big stage. Everyone's fucking juiced up. Everyone's pumped up. Know what that reminds me of, Joe? It reminds me of fucking WWE, where people get excited about the return of The Rock, or the return of John Cena, or the return of this guy, or Stone Cold's here, or Ric Flair, or blah. And nobody gives a shit about the current roster. And I'm not saying that nobody gives a shit, because there are people, I'm sure, that, they love Yo. Okay, great. They love Yo. And there are people that love Evil. All right, you love Evil. I'm saying the general masses, they care about Shibata right now. That's what they're excited about. Everything else, I don't even think a lot of people even know what the current storylines are. Like if I took 7 people up, they say, "Oh, are you a fan of pro wrestling?" Yeah. Well, what's your favorite promotion? Oh, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Oh, really great. Who's the current Never 6-man tag team champions? Who's the Never champion? I don't know. They're lost. They're lost. All right. I mean, look, where do you want to go on the sinking ship, Joel?
Well, I'm trying to find the results. They haven't even put them on the fucking New Japan website. So.
What the fuck?
No. Okay, well, let's talk about the main event, the Best of the Super Juniors final, which was Hiromu defeating Sho.
No.
I think this... Oh, sorry, defeating Yo. This is what New Japan's done to my brain. And I think this is sort of a good case in point, really, for the product as a whole, because, with the limited roster, fine. I mean, that's out of their hands. But there's enough talent there for them to put on great shows and make new stars.
Right.
And we should be coming away from this match talking about Yo, who I thought was outstanding. I thought it was his best ever performance, and it should have been, it could have been a star-making performance. But because I thought that the second part of the match between Hiromu and Yo, I thought was excellent, really, really exciting. I like the first half as well. I know some people are not so keen on that. But instead, me and you and everyone else is going to come away from this Best of the Super Juniors final not talking about Hiromu and Yo. We're going to be talking about House of Torture and Show, because for the life of me, I do not understand why they thought that was a good idea to put that in the middle of it. Now, I could be on an island here. Hey guys, it's me, JM says, is it mere coincidence that Yo Hiromu only got good after Show's interference? Or do we have Show to thank for making the match good in the first place? Dave said, can I change my match of the year vote to Hiromu versus Yo, please, despite the House of Trash horseshit? So opinions are divided on that. Personally, I thought it ground the entire match to a halt. I thought it was stupid. I thought it distracted away from the two people you want to be focusing on. This should have been all about Yo, in spite of his defeat. But it wasn't. And, having Goto and Yoshihashi come out and Shingo and Naito coming out like the parents.
Right.
Hiromu and Yo's mum and dad coming out like to watch and cheer them on from the side after the Show interference. And when Show did that bit in the middle of the match, it seemed to me that no one in the arena gave a shit. It was just, you could have heard a pin drop in there. I don't think they liked it. I mean, when there's something shocking or heelish, you usually hear, even with the crowds, there is some sort of response there. It was just nothing. Yeah. And I think if you take that out of the match, I think it's a fucking good match.
Right.
And a match of the year candidate, honestly. And I was so impressed by Yo. And again, we should be talking about Yo for 15 minutes and how great he was. But we're not. We're talking about bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. And it's sad to say that the match, to me, really was ruined. We should be talking about Yo, and we should be talking about how great the. And maybe we should. Maybe we should just focus on that, but it's hard to do. It's very hard to do because, like you, I was it was so unnecessary and so unneeded to me. Like what did anybody gain from that? That Yo was able to ward off others to continue on in the match.
But he attacked Hiromu as well.
Right.
It wasn't like it gave him Yo a disadvantage. And I get, okay, maybe they're trying to set something up between Show and Yo for Wrestle Kingdom. Do that after the match.
Right.
Or
do it during their match.
The Super Juniors final. Yeah. That's the one match that a lot of casual fans look forward to and tune into in the year. Last year, it was my match of the year. Most years, Best of the Super Juniors final is a match of the year candidate. This should be. I'll say again, if you take that out, it's a brilliant match. But why? Why do they keep doing it, Damon? I don't like it. I want it to stop.
I don't know why. He spent 20 minutes asking the question. I don't know why.
Someone write in, give me a good reason. Try and convince me that. Yeah, I don't think why they had to do that in the middle of a final.
I don't think there is one. I don't. I mean, there's none, because here's the thing. But for every reason you can give me, I can give you 3 points where that's no. We could have gone a completely different direction, and everyone could have. I don't know. I like, you know who it helps. It helps. I don't even. I was going to say it helps House of Torture. I don't even think this helps House of Torture. How does this help them? Like, okay, we're going to make them more heels. We get it. Like, here's the thing. We get it, and no one cares. Like, so now you're just constantly doing this thing over and over again. We still don't care. Like you could have dropped. They could have fucking dropped Hiromu and Yo from the balcony, and we still wouldn't care about House of Torture. I don't get it. And I'm talking about the masses don't care. Again, I'm sure there are people that you play back the video, be like, well, that person's wearing a House of Torture t-shirt. Okay, great. I'm talking about the entire sample size of New Japan fans. Don't give a fuck. And yet they continue to do this. And not only continue to do it, Joel, they do it in the most like inappropriate spots, and they do it consistently. Why?
I agree with what you said, Owen. I think maybe we should try and compartmentalize that. And what did you think of the non-House of Torture parts of the match?
I told you.
I think I think we should focus on that. Like, talk to me a bit about Yo's performance here.
Great. I thought it was name me a better Yo match. I don't think there is one. And that's, I mean, the ceiling was low, but okay. You got to start somewhere. That was the best match. Without question. I don't know if I would go so far as to say, like, if I took out that chunk, I don't know if I'm going to go so far as to say it was one of my favorite, like, top 5 best of the Super Junior matches. I wouldn't go that far. It could be, because of the sample size, and I always say sample size a lot today, but, you go through the entire history of that tournament. You have some of the best matches of all time going through the history of that tournament. And maybe, again, I hate to go back to it. I'm sorry, but I apologize. But that's another reason why I fucking hated what I saw. But okay, great. It's top 10. I don't know. There's a lot of matches and a lot of pro wrestlers in that top 10 for best of the Super Junior. I don't think it makes my top 10. I thought the match was very good. I thought it was great at certain points. I don't think this is a top 10 best of the Super Juniors match. Final. I don't think this is a top 10. I mean, seriously, are you putting this up there with like Kushida matches? Are you putting this up here?
Probably not. I mean, does it have a chance of sneaking into your top 10 for this year, for 2021?
Yeah, for this year? Yeah. It may be toward the bottom of the list. Yes. But if I'm judging, and again, maybe that's an unfair judge to rank it against other finals because other finals had the benefit of noisy crowds, all that stuff. So maybe that's a little bit unfair. But even in ring, I don't know. Even like stuff with Ricochet and Otani and Liger, of course, and there's a lot of fucking great final matches that I don't think this makes my top 10.
Where does it leave Yo in your mind? Has it sort of elevated him for you?
No.
You excited to see him? No?
No, I mean he had a great match. Okay. Again, I said it last week. It doesn't mean anything at this point. Like, what now? What for Yo? Right now, what do we do? Is he just, what now? What? He had a great match, absolutely. Can he have great matches? Yeah, I think we all knew he could from the jump. We were just waiting for it. But does this like make me want to tune in to see Yo? No, it doesn't. That doesn't make me want to. Here's what it does. It doesn't make me want to fast forward, but it's not like I'm running out and buying a fucking Yo t-shirt. That's for sure. It was a good match, very good match.
And how are you feeling about Hiromu? Does him winning this tournament excite you? Are you cheering for Hiromu, thinking, yeah, Hiromu's back, he's making his big comeback, or is it feeling a bit tired at the moment?
He is the top dog in that division. I mean, I don't think anybody would dispute that. I don't think it feels tired yet. No.
The reason I say that, just to give, I'm not saying that's the way I feel, but have heard people saying, this is the third time we've seen the big sort of comeback story from him. So maybe it's getting a bit played out at this point. I don't know. I kind of feel that Hiromu would benefit from having some fresh blood in the junior division, like basically someone like the effect Shingo had when he joined the junior division, a dominant junior heavyweight wrestler who can basically tear through the division and just be a foil for Hiromu, because it feels like Hiromu's just beating everybody at this point.
Yeah, because everyone feels like a bottom feeder. Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it's Hiromu and even Despy, and even a little bit Robbie Eagles. They trying with Robbie Eagles, but this is a Hiromu division, and look, I've always said the hardest part is taking a guy that establishes who he is, and then try to push him to make him a star, to make him bigger than what he is. And it's a lot easier to do that with someone new, fresh, boom, start with a clean slate. And just like you said, mows through, and then you have a true rival for a certain length of time. I don't know where you get that. Like, to me, to do that, Joel, you need to cherry pick from another promotion in Japan.
I know he's probably going to be positioned as a heavyweight. I'm sure he will be, but Buddy Matthews, I think, would be someone like him.
Okay, but how you get him in here? And is he going to stay? Because I'll tell you flat out who I would rather have. I'd rather have Dragon Lee or Ryu Lee. Straight up, would you rather have Buddy Matthews or Dragon Lee?
Ryu Lee, yeah, I think he's the better wrestler.
I would take him in a heartbeat. I think the juniors, talking pro wrestling wide, has more opportunity for a fresh face. I mean, Joel, would you be upset? Again, taking everything out of the equation that could go wrong and issues and all that. Lio Rush?
I would love to see him in the New Japan Junior division. I don't think he is the guy to be that dominant force, though.
Okay. But is it an option?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure he would love to get involved.
Okay. So to me, juniors feels a little bit more. There's a little bit more options. The problem is that we can't get anybody in, and we get that. My idea of poaching, and I know that we don't necessarily like doing that, but if we remember back with Ishimori when he came in, that was a nice little jump start. I don't think it's going to be ELP. I don't think you can do that. I honestly think I loved your idea of turning him heavy. I think Robbie Eagles is a good pick in the sense of I like him as a wrestler, but I just think that we've seen that already. We've been kind of to this. I think to a certain degree. I think Despy. I think that time has passed. Kanemaru, you're not going to do that, right? Maybe for a cup of coffee, but that's about it. Who else? Show? Come on. I think you need fresh blood, and that's. But here's the thing: you could say that for everyone. You could say that for the heavyweight division, right? Like a big name walking in. I mean, that's why I think everybody kind of pumped up for the Noah situation. People are kind of excited just to see some fucking fresh matchups.
Yeah, I think people seem more excited for that show than the other two Wrestle Kingdom shows.
Yeah. And again, the reason being is because finally, to see the same fucking shit I've been force-fed for 2 years. And, Joel, I'm going to say something. I'm going to put it into the universe. I hope it doesn't bite me in the ass. The likelihood of House of Torture bullshit, I think, is low on that Noah show. Like, there's no way that they'd pull any shenanigans on that fucking show, right? That is not a show that you pull shenanigans on. Now, you would think Best of the Super Juniors finals, World Tag Finals, you would think that would be the same. That Noah show has a minimal. If they pulled bullshit on that show, I'll tell you flat out, I'm done. I will hang up that fucking microphone. Because what else could they fucking mess with? If there's House of Torture, I'll say it right here. I'm going to say it right here and now, Joel. As the horns go off in the neighborhood, if there is House of Torture involvement in the main event of that show, I am done. You'll never hear from me again. I am finished. New Japan writing down quickly. Get them booked.
I've actually got some of the exclusive Voices of Wrestling inside info on this run-in. Do you want to hear it? Okay,
I
so I don't want to steal their stuff. I mean, go subscribe Voices of Wrestling on Patreon. There's very good info here. So apparently, Show's run-in was a last-minute call in the match. So Dick Togo's original pitch was for a post-match beatdown of both Hiromu and Yo, and the idea for that was to build excitement for a House of Torture Chaos feud that will bleed into 2022, include multiple Wrestle Kingdom matches. Gedo rejected this. He wanted Hiromu to stand tall at the end of the show as the tournament winner.
Yeah.
So instead, they booked Show to do the run-in following a ref bump with... Okay. So, yeah, that's when they moved it to the World Tag League final.
Why is there a compromise? Why are we compromising here? Like, what does Dick Togo have over somebody that there even has to be a compromise where they have to sit down and Gato's got to be like, all right, well, listen, we're not going to do this, but how about this? Can we do this? And then whisper.
This is juicy.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's juicy stuff here. So this Togo's second pitch was Show to attack and lay out both Hiromu and Yo during the match. Gedo didn't greenlight that plan until the day of the show. Jado pulled the wrestlers aside to inform them of the changes while the show was already underway. Hiromu was said to be furious, went directly to Gedo to lobby to have the spot removed. Gedo refused. Should be noted that Show and others, notably Shingo, have been successful in the past in lobbying Gedo to remove or adjust House of Torture spots. So Hiromu going over Togo's head would not be considered unusual or insubordinate. What do you think of that?
So again, just to clarify, according to our good friends at Voices of Wrestling flagship, right? Their Patreon, and again, subscribe. That's good stuff. Great job by them. Excellent job by them, as always. But even more so, excellent job. Hiromu, show's going on. Hiromu gets word of this, a little whisper from someone. Goes and says this is bullshit, which is rightfully so. You're taking the shine off of him. Okay, great. I want this off. I don't want this involved in the match. What are you doing? This is nonsense. Gedo says nope. We're going to do it. Wow. Now look, I'm not saying what Voices of Wrestling is saying is 100% accurate. What I'm saying is that they are relaying the information that they got from reliable people that was the case. Wow. I'll tell you what.
It's kind of a healthy wrestling promotion when you got one of your top stars furious about changes going over people's heads. And Yujiro Takahashi in a tournament final.
Yeah, and not even, like, this is during the show. You know, this is not even like before the show, right? Wow. That's fucked up. Look, in pro wrestling, especially, you know, when the spotlight gets a little bit brighter, you do see that. You know, people don't always like finishes. People don't like to put somebody else over, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's something. That's something. What in God's name, as quickly as this has become, the power struggle within New Japan with Dick Togo. That is the story of the past 2 years. Like how quickly he has positioned himself in this company. And in my eyes, and from what it sounds like, in a lot of the wrestlers' eyes, not for the benefit of the company. So now again, I have to question, why is this? Like, if they said, Dick Togo, here's your stuff. Here's a box. Thanks for all your work for these past couple of years, but we're gonna let you go. Thanks for all your work. We wish you well on your future endeavors. We've heard that before. What what would be the ramification? Like, would there be like a downward spiral in New Japan Pro Wrestling at that point? Right? No. Like what? Like it would be like if Okada did the same. Do you feel like there would be ramifications that would be felt for years in New Japan Pro Wrestling? I do. If Tanahashi did that, I think there would be. If Shingo did that, Ibushi, whoever, you would feel that. Dick Togo saying, if we didn't see Dick Togo anymore, what would we lose? Apparently, the idea of a Noah partnership or working arrangement. I'd be okay with that. If the trade-off was we don't get the Noah show, which I'm looking forward to, and we don't get a working relationship, because to me, that's really been the benefit so far of this relationship with Dick Togo. We don't have the Noah show. In return, Dick Togo has left, and he's going to go on the grimy indie scene and wrestle at Shinjuku Face for the rest of his fucking life. Would we give a shit? I would drive him there. I'll pay somebody in Japan to drive him there. How about that? I'll fucking PayPal you the money. Venmo, whatever the fuck you want. That's right, I'm talking to you, Frazier. Get your car. Drive him to Shinjuku Face and wrestle in that fucking barn. At Fire Hazard. That place is a fucking fire hazard. I'm telling you. They cram people in that joint and it's nothing but wood. It's like wrestling in a fucking Home Depot lumberyard. Why am I complaining about Shinjuku Face? Of all places. It's a nice place.
Right, we're now we should probably talk about some of these other matches. World Tag League final was Yoshihashi and Goto defeating Yujiro and Evil. I mean, I'm happy for Yoshi and Goto. They're a decent team. I like their matches. I like them. I think both guys have worked really hard in the tag division this year, both this and the Never Six-Man division. So I think it's nice to see them happy. But, was it a great classic fun? Not really. I mean, the first half I found pretty dull. I thought from basically the Ishii run-in onwards, then I was into it. And I thought it was quite exciting and I was enjoying it. But I think this is just sort of emblematic of the depleted roster at the moment. The fact that this was the best that they could do for the World Tag League tournament final, which, let's be fair, World Tag League is not some sacrosanct, star-studded lineup. We've had
Honma
tournament, right? Exactly. Right. Makabe Honma against Gorilla Sadistic, which is actually a very good match. But yeah, I mean, Myra Viper says, is Yoshihashi finally getting his moments of Wrestle Kingdom? There's that. I mean, if you're a Yoshihashi fan, you can look forward to that.
Oh my God, we're talking like it's fucking Daniel Bryan.
What did you think of the match?
It's fine. It's fine. Look, Yoshihashi and Goto are a good tag team, and to me, they're with Ishii, they're an even better six-man. And I know people want to hang their hat on that for this decision. And okay, fair enough, but know that like six-man tags, you can hide a lot of fucking shit. You can, and again, they're going long, and everybody's doing their part. Don't get me wrong, but it makes it a little bit. I don't want to a little easier for the strengths to be at the surface and weaknesses to be hidden. There's no doubt about it. And that's not to say that Goto and Yoshihashi on their own are a weak link. They're fine. This goes back to they had better options in my mind. In my eyes, they just did. They got Yoshihashi, Joel, or Hanare. Flat up, who you taking?
Hanare, just for the freshness. And this is what we talked about earlier. There were some interesting options for this World Tag League and for the final. They picked none of them. And I like Yoshihashi Goto. I keep saying it, but do they excite me? No. Would Hanare and Okada excite me? Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I can't believe Naito and Sonata. To be honest with you, that shocked me more than anything else. Look, I feel like you talk about Dick Togo influence. You think Hanare's loving this? This House of Torture shit, where every fucking turn, where he's supposed to, all right, this is it. This is the Hanare time. This is the Great Okan. This is the time. That's the beefy tag team. Here we go. Let's do this. Whoop! Stop dead in his tracks. Who's doing the run-ins? House Torture. House Torture's everywhere. You think Hanare's loving this one? Hanare's about ready to rip somebody's fucking head off, I think. Oh, Lord. Oh. I know I keep going back to it, Joe. I'm just marveled at what kind of stroke this fucking guy has right now. Unbelievable.
Okay, sixth match was Robbie Eagles and Kazuchika Okada against Bushi and Shingo. Did this get your juices flowing for the January 4th main event?
It didn't, but I will say that I do like. There is something pleasing to me when you get the junior tag, or it's not the junior tag, the junior heavyweight champion and the heavyweight champion tagging. I kind of like that dynamic. I really do. I think they made a good team. I liked it. No, I mean, look, until we get a lineup for Wrestle Kingdom and we see what they're going to go with, and that should be relatively soon, don't you think? That's going to be right around the corner. I mean, it's December 15th. We don't have a card. We have some matches, right? But we don't have a card. Until that happens, Joel, and they got to really find something. Here's the problem. I don't think they know right now. I think they have 3 or 4 options on the table in their little notebook, but I really don't know I don't think they know what they're going to do. And my fear is that it's going to be a lot of what you described and what Voices of Wrestling, their Patreon. That's what I feel like we're going to see a lot of. I got a strange feeling.
All right, fifth match was Great Okan and Jeff Cobb against Sanada and Tetsuya Naito. And it seems the direction is Naito, Jeff Cobb at Wrestle Kingdom, which I'm really into. I thought it was going to be the G1 final.
Yeah.
But I'm, excited. I mean, they've wrestled before in the G1 previously, but this is a new and improved Jeff Cobb. I'm interested to see Naito in singles action following his injury. Can he get back to something resembling his best? So, yeah, that is a match, actually, if it is booked for Wrestle Kingdom, that I'd be looking forward to.
Yeah. Jeff Cobb. This is a guy that, again, most improved. He's going to be in the running, no doubt. I wish they would go all in on him. I wish that he would just be a monster, destroy people, just destroy people. Like he's that way now. I want it to be up another notch. If they do that match at Wrestle Kingdom, he's got to go over, right?
I'd hope so. I mean, I agree with you. I think he's a guy who should be... He deserves a title run. He should have a dominant heel title run. He should be the guy that everyone else is trying to beat. He should have gone 9-0 in the G1 climax, made it all the way to the final. Probably should have won the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because he's one of the few bright spots, I think, in this calendar year.
Yep.
So,
but again,
sure.
He's in the wrong faction, Joel. He's in the wrong faction. All right, let's set it right now. As we sit here, December 15th for me, December 16th for you. Who's going to have a better 2022? And what I mean better, more spotlight matches, bigger spotlight matches, top of the card, bigger push, whatever you want to call it. Jeff Cobb, evil.
Well,
given all you need, given all the information you have at your disposal.
Yeah, it's going to be evil.
I know.
This is going to be 2022 is going to be the year of evil and show.
Holy fucking shit! Are we seriously? Are we ready for that? Are we really going to do that? Whew! All right.
Next match then. This was 8-man tag. Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, Tangaloa Tamatonga against Yuji Nagata, Satoshi Kojima, Hiroshi Tenzan, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
I fast forward. I fast forward. I did. I fast forward. I didn't watch.
Okay. Well, I mean, this one, all I can say, Chase Owens has definitely lost his claim at US title shot. He's been pinned twice by Tanahashi, and Kenta had a little video thing afterwards where he has invited Tanahashi to wrestle for the US title in a no DQ match. So, I mean, Kenta versus Tanahashi's been done to death. I don't think anyone's looking forward to another Kenta Tanahashi match, but with the added no DQ step, two thoughts on this. One, is this a nod towards Tanahashi's decreasing mobility, and is this something that you're interested in?
You're right. We have seen this a bunch. A no DQ match. Do you really think it's going to be that much different than any other Tanahashi match that we've seen in the past year?
It's going to be full death match. Tanahashi's going to get out the light tubes, scissors, the whole fucking lot.
Now that would be something. I would pay money to see that. Deathmatch Tanahashi. That's the name of my new band, by the way. Deathmatch Tanahashi. I think Escape the Box should change the name to Deathmatch Tanahashi. Let's see if Dan listens all the way through when he edits and sees if he hears that guy. if he puts something up on our WhatsApp, then we'll know. But we're 1 hour and 1 minute in. All right. Yeah, it'll be fine. But I really don't see how the no D. What, we're going to see a couple chairs. You know what I mean? That we already see anyway. That half the refs just fucking ignore anyway. Okay. Like, we're not going to see anything crazy, right? We're not gonna brawl in the crowd. We're not gonna have any weird weapons. We're not gonna take any dangerous bumps. Tanahashi takes a bump off the fucking balcony or something. That'd be great. It's just, again, no DQ. Why? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? All right, cool. Next.
The Shibata announcement.
Oh.
So he came to the ring. He said he's going to have a match on January 4th, and everyone's excited about that. So I suppose the big question is, who do you think he will be wrestling? I thought maybe Great O'Khan might be a nice opponent for him if he's sort of leaning into that more sort of grapple-heavy style. David says, how regularly do you think Shibata will wrestle after Wrestle Kingdom, and what impact will his comeback have on the LA Dojo? So thoughts on Shibata, please?
I think it will be someone from the LA Dojo. What do you think of that? That's who we wrestle.
You think he'll be wrestling someone from the LA Dojo, or someone from the LA Dojo will take over the LA Dojo?
Both.
Okay.
Both, yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be somebody from the LA Dojo. I mean...
Oh, so Alex Coughlin. That would be good.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that would make sense, wouldn't it? I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to... I mean, unless it's Kenta, and what are you going to do? Where are you dropping him? That would make sense. I don't think he's doing both nights either. I think he'd probably do just one night. I'm not that I've heard anything, but I'll bet a glazed donut that it's fucking somebody from the dojo.
See people saying things like, "Oh, maybe it will be Ishii." What, you want to do? Shoot headbutts in the Tokyo Dome again?
I mean, that'd be great. You know what I mean? Like, if you're coming back, let's come back in style. But I think people are, and I could be dead wrong, but I think people are missing the boat on that one. I think, yeah. Here's the thing. Why? You know what I mean? Why would you put him in the ring with Ishii when you could put him in the ring with Carl Fredericks or Alex Hoglund or, pick your dojo guy. I think that would just make more sense, right? Yes, the idea of him coming back against Ishii or coming back against, fucking Cobb or coming back against, even doing it again with Zach, I would have no problem with. But I don't know. I don't see that in the cards. I don't know. I think people are going to, I joked about it being like Captain New Japan or fucking the returning Doc Gallows or fucking, whatever. I joked about it. But I'm fearful that people are going to be pretty disappointed when they find out who this guy is that he's wrestling. Because I don't think it's going to be like Ishii or, that. You're not going to see that. I would be shocked if that did happen.
Third match was Wato, Honma, Makabe, Yano against Kanemaru, Desperado, Zack, and Taichi. Makabe, so Chris Sampson did the maths and worked out how much ring time Makabe's had compared to Honma.
Yeah.
Makabe's got like less than half of the ring time of Honma. He's in the ring for like 30 seconds, then he's tagging out again and just
He's a pro.
yelling from the ring apron.
He's a fucking pro is what he is. Smartest guy in that fucking ring is what he is. Yeah, in and out.
The other notable thing from this is Kanemaru wants to have a shot at Yano's KOPW, and that will be on one of these Road to Tokyo Dome shows. That's not going to be at Wrestle Kingdom because, as everyone knows, you got to have the KOPW before the end of the calendar year in order to be considered the king of pro wrestling for that given year. So expect to see something like that on one of these Road to shows, which I'm sure is going to get everyone chomping at the bit to see the action between them.
Those are usually pretty good, though. Those last Corkin shows before the Dome, those are usually pretty good. There usually is that one main event. I remember, what was it one year? Was it Kenny and Ibushi, was it?
Yeah, against I think Ospreay and Tanahashi.
Yeah, I think that was pretty great. So that should be nice. You know what I miss? I miss Dash. I miss the excitement of Corkin Hall, not knowing what the show was going to be, expecting big surprises, getting none of it. I miss that.
My one and only trip to Korakuen Hall.
Was that
Leave
it?
the memories alone.
Yeah. One time.
Okay, second match was El Fantasma and Ishimori against Oiwa and Tiger Mask. I think people are gradually turning on El Fantasma and warming up to him. Certainly on our Discord, which can be quite a critical place at times. People are really warming up to El Fantasma. So I'll be very interested to see what his 2022 looks like because, as I've said many times, I think there's fertile grounds there for something not necessarily pure babyface, but it's definitely working in the tweener category as Bullet Club seems to be moving. Caramel Honey B says, what is in El Fantasmo's shoe?
That's a great question.
There's nothing in his shoe. I don't think it matters what's in his shoe, to be honest. I just think that it's the idea of having something in his shoe which is more powerful than any weapon he could put in there.
Well said.
I don't think we'll ever find out what was in his shoe. I don't think there is a particular gimmick object that if he took it out, everyone would go, oh, that's a great payoff. Now we can see what the object is.
Yep.
It's the concept rather than the actual thing itself.
It's the new, you're not going to get the reference. Maybe you will. It's the new, what was in Larry Zbyszko's envelope. Huh? Come on. Help me out, old school pro wrestling fan.
Look up that one.
Yep.
Well, educate me and tell me. Just give me in a nutshell.
Larry Zbyszko came to Crockett Promotions, NWA. I would say late 80s, like 88-ish, right? And it was managed by Baby Doll. And he had this envelope that he carried around with him that apparently had either photographs or documents to indict somebody of something, that would cause waves in the wrestling world. And they just completely dropped the angle. They completely dropped the angle. It went into space. And for weeks he was coming out with this fucking envelope. They just dropped it. So no one knows what was in that envelope. Thank you.
And in terms of the the junior tag situation, it looks like we will be heading for a three-way with El Fantasma and Ishimori and the Flying Tigers, Robbie Eagles and Tiger Mask, who are the champions, and the Mega Coaches, because Taguchi had a bit of involvement and hinted that Rocky was going to be involved. So, usually I'm not into the three-ways, but I actually think that could be a lot of fun with those 6 wrestlers involved. So I would be into that personally.
Yeah, I got no problem with that. It's an undercardy thing. No problem. I was just thinking the other day, I mean, what do you think about a Taguchi heel turn? And him challenging me? No, you're not feeling it? All right.
Well, people were thinking it was a heel turn. I don't think it was a heel turn. I think it was just him inserting himself into the title picture. But I don't know. I find him too entertaining and charming and lovable as his the roguish scamp that he is right now. Right. Slightly airs of being a little bit of a sex pest.
Don't want to lose that sex pest edge that he has.
Okay, match 1 then was Doki, Taka, Michinoku and Suzuki against Fujita, Nakashima and Taguchi. I thought it was interesting that Doki was the one to get the win here. And it seems, I don't know, it's been trending this way for a while, that Suzuki is not the top guy in his own faction. Mark says, how close do you feel that we are to Taichi Gun? Suzuki feels like he's on his way out the company. He's on and out the company run at the minute.
Can I make a bold prediction? It's going to be announced, and again, this is my off the top rumor. I'm going to start a rumor. So I have no facts. I have no basis for this. So please, when it happens, this is not a pastrami sandwich. Let's put it that way. I think this is Suzuki's last Wrestle Kingdoms.
What do you think would be an appropriate way for him to bow out?
I think he announces it. I think it'll be announced sometime before Wrestle Kingdom. I don't know what match or what have you, but didn't that U.S. tour feel like a goodbye tour?
Yeah, I mean, he did absolutely milk the territory dry, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, it did feel to me like that was without saying it, thanks for everything, guys. See you on the flip side.
So overall, it was a decent show.
Fine.
With
a fine show for what was supposed to be an important show. A fine show.
Yeah. Louis says, how much of this show was Plan B matches being set up due to new travel restrictions? Again, VOW had a little nugget there about Ibushi was supposed to be featured on the show, but they're still unsure about if he's going to make it in time for Wrestle Kingdom. Phil said, I thought maybe we get a tease of Jay's involvement at Wrestle Kingdom, but it's got to be a no-show now, right? If I had to put money, I would say no Jay White at Wrestle Kingdom.
All right, you want to put money on that? I'll bet $1 American that he will be there. I'll take those odds. And if he's there, you give me $1. If he's not there, I'll give you 50 cents. How's that?
Big money, Damon.
I
don't
know
know if I can afford that.
I know. Listen, well, you're on that teacher salary, so I'm trying to look out for you. All right, I'm going to send you something. I don't know if you've seen this. Let me know what you get.
Okay. Chappin management for immediate release. Tokyo. The following statement was released today by Katsura Shibata in response to the questions about his future career plans. I'm back. Chappin management.
Fucking Andrew Rich might be the greatest guy.
That's Andrew. Amazing.
Andrew Rich is amazing. Chappin management. Andrew Rich, I love you so much. If I ever see you again, I'm buying you a beer and we're making out. No doubt.
I'm going to kiss you on the forehead, whether you like it or not. No, I'm not going to do that. I would ask for permission first.
All right, good. That's the way to be. Yes, you don't want to be a pest. Speaking of sex pests.
All right, let's quickly touch on New Japan Strong. I thought it was a really good episode, actually, Detonation last Saturday. So we had Jonathan Gresham defeating Gabriel Kidd, 30 minutes 47 via ground head scissors. Great to see Gabriel Kidd back in the ring. I think he's officially graduated now, so he's no longer a young lion. So excited to see what the future holds for him. And always good to see more Jonathan Gresham in New Japan. I'm a big fan of his. I know he's got his own promotion that he's working on, Terminus, I think it's called, following ROH being on ice at the very least for now. Second match, we had Ospreay, TJP, and Jeff Cobb defeating Cole Fredericks, Clark Connors, and Ren Narita. So Cobb pins Fredericks after 13 minutes 24 seconds with the Tour of the Islands. I think this might be one of the best six-mans that they've done on Strong. It was just really cool seeing Ospreay and Cobb in a tag team together. They both feel like proper heavyweight main event wrestlers to me at the moment. So seeing them together, they look really dominant, and I thought everyone had a chance to shine in this match, and it was really good stuff. The main event, Tomohiro Ishii defeating Brody King in 30 minutes 37 seconds via a vertical brainbuster. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you expected. Kept it nice and short, didn't stretch it out for the sake of it on account of it being a main event. Hope we see more Brody King in New Japan next year. And Ishii with this never open weight title. I'm not sure where it ends up. Some whispers that he might be defending it against Evil at Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe Ishii could drag Evil kicking and screaming to a vaguely entertaining match, but we'll see. So overall, really good episode of Strong. I would recommend you check it out if you haven't already done so.
I would agree. with that 1,000%. The main event, I did see the main event, the Brody King Ishii. I thought it was very good. He's one guy that I would love to see. Like he's got a lot of. I see him everywhere. It feels like he's just like he was on that last Ring of Honor show. I think he was, wasn't he? Speaking of which, how about that? Ring of Honor. I mean, I don't know if you were covering that today, but that's pretty amazing shit. That not amazing shit, sad shit to be quite frank. And we're gonna put that on pause.
Well, that is all. Apart from the Lamar Reynolds update, who is the new player that we're sponsoring, seeing as the other player was recalled by his home club. So Lamar Reynolds got a goal at home to Braintree Saturday in a 2-2 draw and played a decent 90 minutes in the 2-1 Essex Senior Cup win at Dagenham and Redbridge last night. So Lamar Reynolds flying the flag for the Super J cast and getting a goal. Great stuff, Lamar.
Excellent. Way to go. I love it. So we get a little bump. Did he mention us?
Yeah, I think after he scored his goal, he lifted up his football shirt and underneath with a Super J-Cast shirt. And then he ran to the camera and pointed at this and said, listen to this podcast. It's quite a good New Japan Pro Wrestling podcast, although they can be quite annoying sometimes. And I actually prefer keeping it strong style. But he didn't say that. I made that up.
What did he say about keeping it strong style?
He prefers keeping it strong style.
I'm sure he does. Everybody does. Who doesn't? I prefer keeping it strong style to the show. You kidding me?
Can we just pretend to be keeping it strong style? Just I completely just change the name of the podcast, change the logo.
We'll change
we're keeping it strong style as well.
We'll call it keeping it strongy style. Right, like doggy style, strongy style. That's pretty smart, right? I'm a marketing genius, right? Yeah, I mean, me too. They contacted me the other day. Did you know that? You want to?
What do they want?
You want it?
Why do they never contact me?
Because they know where it's at, man. They know.
Because I suck.
No, I don't know if they have their number. They were asking about. I'll pull back the curtain. I don't think it's anything because year-end awards. If we were doing them, and I was like, I think we are. I said, I think we got to wait till. I think we're going to wait till after that World Tag League show. So. They were like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, cool. That'll be next week. I think we'll have that going up.
What's that?
The year-end awards. We are doing it. We've got the shortlist. We just need to reach out to the right people and make it happen.
Yeah, it'll happen. Trust me, you'll have your say. You can vent there, and we'll definitely mail it to Dick Togo. Give him the awards. Well, look. I'm surprised your parents haven't made a cameo yet.
I got a very tired and confused looking Esther wandering in about 10 minutes into the pod, but now she's gone to mummy's bed, so we're in the clear. This has worked out pretty well.
Nice. Good for you. I love it. What else? What else we got on the docket? We good? You got to go to work?
Yeah, I've got to get ready for work. Give it a bit more time next week. So I'm finished school at the end of this week, so I'll have 3 weeks off.
Wow.
Maybe dig into the backlog of questions and talk awards and preview Wrestle Kingdoms and all that. Oh, maybe we should reach out to Kevin.
Yeah, we got to, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just send me dates that work best for you.
Yep.
That week, whatever it is. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, we gotta do our little traditional. Kevin is always great because here's the thing. There are plenty of times. And it really depends on what kind of mood he's in. Like there are times he just doesn't give a shit, and he just like some of the best shit comes from Kevin. And like it's funny how we do it. Like it'll be a little bit easier too this year because we're using the Zencaster. But we'll text back and forth and be like, "Oh my god, he's on fire! He's great." So yeah, we got to make that the traditional Kevin Kelly show pre Wrestle Kingdom. Let's get his temperature. Let's see how he's feeling with all this nonsense that's going on.
I'm excited for that because
he don't hold back.
If and when we ask Kevin Kelly, what do you think of this House of Torture stuff? He's not going to hold back, is he?
No, he doesn't. Well, here's the thing. You know what? I'm not even going to say it.
He fucking buries it on the air.
Right. All right. I mean, he kind of like he wears it on the sleeve, which is nice. All right, you get ready for work. Go, let's wrap up this dog. Let's wrap up this negativity pony show, and I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. Go.
Great Ed. Great finish to the podcast. redcircle.com/shows/super-j-cast if you want to give us some Christmas money so I can afford to buy some gifts for my children. If you want a link to the Discord, you can send me a DM on Twitter and I will share the link with you.
And nudes.
And nudes, at Cobra Kawaii and ProWrestlingTees.com/SuperJcast for our t-shirts. Big thanks to editor Dan, who's on Twitter at LousyHero219. Subscribe to the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network for other great shows. Give us a 5-snake review on iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at SuperJcast. Thank you everyone for listening, and goodbye.